if we were to lose against Arsenal on Sunday, it'd be a reality check for a lot of these Man United fans with all the signings being made. But also, it could be an early sign that this manager's days are numbered. I don't think, bro, it's only the first game of the season. I don't think he can lose it.
hmm I don't think you can.
Uh,
If Man United lose, we're gonna be under so much pressure. He's gonna be under so much pressure. He just might break. I'll try and be hopeful and say that we should expect better performances and a lot more tactical nous from the manager. But I'm not convinced at the moment. That's all I can say.
I don't blame you for not being convinced because I'm not convinced, but I'm hoping that he'll prove me wrong. I'm hoping that
Yeah.
there will be something different. I'm hoping that look, ST, let's try and be a little bit positive. Look, it's a new season. It's a new season. Let's hope that the players have bought into the manager's philosophy. Let's hope that they understand what they're doing. Let's
Spartans! What is your profession?
Yes, people, another edition of Knights of the Round Table discussions where we discuss all sports all the time. Got my guy ST in the building. How are you doing, sir?
I'm all good. I'm all good. Well, I'm not good because we have to talk about United, but in life, I'm all good.
Listen, all you can do all you can do is live life to the fullest and try and get the best out of it because honestly, bro, talking about Manchester United will have people in asylums. We were in the asylum the last time we spoke about Man United. But people, listen, we said it to you yesterday on Footy Chat. We had our Prem preview show. If you haven't seen it, go and watch that with Tooth. We went through the main Premier League title contenders. We did our top six and we did our relegation teams as well as talking about transfers. So if you want to watch that as well as this, go back and watch that video. But yeah, this is United talk. We're going to call it United talk. We're not going to call it the United Asylum. That was for the end of last season. United talk is back. So ST and I are going to be going through what we expect from United, the transfers, what we're expecting to see, what is the reality of our situation, and what we can do in the Premier League season. But as usual, before we start, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Get the likes up, get the subscriptions up at the same time. Share, share, share. We are here, and don't forget to join our social media pages as well. Links are in the description. ST, before we start, I just saw it. Obviously, people, this will be going out on Thursday, but we're recording this on Wednesday. Bro, imagine I didn't even realize that we were in the draw for the Carabao Cup second round. I completely forgot because we finished so low.
Oh yeah.
So we're going away to Grimsby. That's an extra
Oh,
fixture in the Carabao Cup, bro. That's how low we've fallen. Like it came up on my phone like literally 45 minutes ago, and I was just like, what? I thought, what's this? I thought it was the women. I thought it was the women, but yeah, we're away to Grimsby in the second round of the Carabao Cup, and people, that is how low Man United have sunk. So look, before we can look forward, we have to look back. ST obviously finishing 15th in the league last season, losing the Europa League final to Spurs, so that's no Europe. That is finishing in the bottom half of the table. I think we finished with 42 points on the last game of the season. That got us above 40 points, which is criminal. Only scored 44 goals, conceded 54 goals. It was our lowest points tally in the Premier League era. I think only once have we, in United's history have we ever gotten lower than 42 points. I think it was like 1931 or something like that. Um, Joint most losses at home. The fact that we didn't lose to Aston Villa saved us. But the joint most losses at home, and the only teams to have less goals than us were the relegated teams. I don't think we ever won back-to-back games in the league. That whole season, we went the whole season
mm,
without winning back-to-back games. Um, obviously we had Ten Hag where the club got it wrong, and kept him on after the FA Cup final. Brought in Amorim midway through the season, and it just didn't work, and it was an absolute shambles. So ST, we're gonna get into obviously the transfers and everything else, but first things first. What is it that United need to do this season to improve? We're not talking about tactics or anything else, just the basic fundamentals. What is it that this team has to do to improve going into the new season?
I'm not gonna go into tactics, but we just need to find a way to score more goals. I can't even lie, yeah. Don't get me wrong, I know Man United conceded 50 goals in the Premier League, but it, the defense wasn't the problem. If I'm being honest, it wasn't the main problem. So it was a problem, wasn't the main problem.
Mm-hmm.
My concern was the creativity in the attack. We need to find
Mm-hmm.
Man United a system where we can attack more.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be better midfield.
Mm-hmm.
And overall, we just need. I could go on. We need a lot. We just, bro. I don't know what more you want me to say.
Do
Man
you know
United
what?
just needs to
No.
improve.
Do you know what it is though? ST. The thing is, it's very hard to sum up because there
Yeah.
is so much wrong at the football club that even going for a simple question of what we need is a complex question because
Mm-hmm.
there is so much that is needed for this team.
Mm.
But look, we put that in the past. What's done is done. We said in the last video beforehand, start from the bottom, start from scratch, build this team up. First things first is trying to, as you say, score more goals, right? And the club's addressed that, right? They've gone into the transfer market, bought in, obviously, the guy in both our backgrounds, Brian Mbeumo from Brentford, 71 mil, a guy that is proven in the Premier League, scored 20 goals in the league last season at Brentford, which is an achievement. I think he was fifth in the top scorers list, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. So that's a hell of an achievement. Premier League proven. They've bought him in. Also bought in Mateus Cunha from Wolves, 62.5 million. I think he scored 14, was it? No, 14. No, 12 goals in the league last season for Wolves, who were looking like relegation fodder. Um, and then they brought in Benjamin Sesko from RB Leipzig, 74 million. Young talent, looks technically good, has a lot to prove. So the club have addressed the issue that you've said in terms of going out there and buying two attackers that are Premier League proven and know where the goal is, and a young attacking talent. We're going to get on to Sesko, but I just want to talk about Cunha and Mbeumo. I am happy with those two signings. I think Cunha, excellent ball carrier, which we need. We desperately needed a ball carrying player. Um, has some pace about him, but also wants to link up and play well. And then on the other side is Brian Mbeumo. Listen, left-footed, cut inside, demon, has plenty of pace, plenty of energy. What are your expectations from those two this season?
Um. With the well, it sounds weird. I'm expecting Mbeumo 15 goals. If I'm being honest, around
In the
15 goals.
league?
I'm not in the league. I'm not gonna say
Mm,
20
mm,
because 20 is. I think the way Brentford played, it suited him down to a T,
yeah.
and they played through him and Vissa
Mm,
more
mm,
often than not. I don't think Man United will do that because obviously you got Sesko, you've got other players, you've got
Mm-hmm.
Ahmad, you've got all those players. But I'm expecting 15, maybe 15 overall. I'd be happy and a few assists. Cunha, I know he's not a scorer, but I expect him to create a little bit for us to take the ball forward. I'm expecting about 12, 15, similar.
Mm-hmm.
That's more overall. I'm looking for them two to link up. I mean, the times when they were on the pitch, from what I've seen in preseason, and I know it's only preseason, I'm not getting gassed or anything like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Mm.
They look like they have a little bit of an understanding already,
Mm.
so it does help. And we're starting to go into a place where we're starting to get more technical ballers.
Mm.
So that front four is what we're trying to get, and I'm expecting big things from them too. I like them too. I'm actually happy that Man United have made those signings. They're very good players, Premier League proven, and it's a stepping stone for us to get back to where we belong, if you understand what I mean. And it's the right steps. We're not buying players that we don't have. Well, more often than not, we don't know anything about. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
Sesko is different compared to these two, but
Mm-hmm.
these two, we know what they've done in the Premier League.
Yep.
We know what they can do. We
Mm-hmm.
know the attributes. We've in a way weakened our rivals at the time because let's be honest, they're in and around us. Man United are a
Yeah.
mid-table to
Yeah.
low team.
Mm.
So the fact that we've taken their best players,
Mm.
it only strengthens us, and
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna. I'm hoping to propel Man United forward into like higher middle tables, get into European places, but there's still a lot of things we need to improve on. Like still a lot.
100%. And I think you summed it up well in terms of the fact that technically they're a lot better. I mean, when you look at our front three last season, it was Crap Nacho, Arsmus, and Bruno or Mason Mount. And that is rubbish. When we had Ahmad, it was good. When we had Ahmad, Crap Nacho wasn't in the team. When we had the way how the manager used Xerxes in the 10, it didn't really work. But when Xerxes actually played up front after the disgraceful antics of the Man United fans when they booed him, we looked a lot better. And Xerxes in Xerxes in that is a plus because I will get to Sesko in a second, but I think with Xerxes, I think with Mbeumo and Cunha, if it works the way how it's supposed to work, Xerxes, not in terms of pressing, but in terms of what he did on the ball, will be doing a Firmino type thing
I was
with
going to mention that. Yeah.
Liverpool, Salah, and Mane, where he'll be dropping deep to get on the ball, and those two should be going the other way. So
Yeah.
as Xerxes coming towards the ball, they should be trying to get in behind to penetrate and have that threat. So I think Xerxes will work very well with
So do I.
with these two, and I'm excited to see that. As I said, I'm happy with these two coming in. I think it strengthens us, as you said, it weakens the teams that are in or and around us, which is a positive. But we are now moving on to the unknown with Benjamin Sesko, and people. I'm not trying to come at it from a negative standpoint. Technically, he looks good. He's a unit. I will say that he is a unit. I think he's 6'4" or 6'5".
It's 5.
Yeah, something like that. He's a unit, can strike a ball clean. And this guy was being linked with the likes of Arsenal, Newcastle, obviously tried to get him, didn't quite come out. We've had times before in seasons gone past where he was being linked with a Dortmund or a Bayern Munich. So like teams have looked at him. This isn't a Rasmus situation where no one was really looking at him. But there are comparisons. 22 years ago, he's a young striker, coming for, I think, just a little bit less than what Rasmus is came in for 2 seasons ago. Raw talent. The numbers weren't great in terms of goal scoring. When you look at I think he scored 15 for RB Leipzig last season and 14 the season before. It might be the other way around. Can't really remember. And I'm just like, even Timo Werner scored 30 goals for Leipzig. So, do you know what I mean? Like, that kind of concerns me. And the parallels with Rasmus, young striker, doesn't really know the league, come in for big money, has to hit the ground running because that's what you have to do as a centre forward for Manchester United. Bro, I am concerned about this one, and it's got nothing to do with the kid's talent because I think he's more talented than Rasmus.
A lot
But
more talented than Rashford.
but the fact that he has to come on and put that shirt on and hit the ground running and have those expectations that are so high, bro, we could be looking at deja vu all again. What do you think?
He's good, but again, as you said, the goal scoring um, record that he has isn't great. And honestly, it's going to take him time to get used to this league. That's another thing. We need to understand he's a young man coming into a different country, different pace of football, different
Mm-hmm.
understanding of football. It's difficult. And I do
One
worry
thing I
about
will
him.
say before you carry on, though, one thing I will
Go on.
say, I think that in terms of pace of the league, I think the Bundesliga isn't that bad for him to come from because I think they're probably the closest to the Premier League in terms of pace, not in terms of physicality, but in terms of the pace of the league. So I think that, look, the Premier League is a different beast altogether when you bring everything together. But I think in terms of the pace of the league, I think it will take him a shorter time to adjust, whereas Rasmus came from Serie A, where it's a lot slower. So that I will say. But in terms of the physicality, there's nothing that you can prepare for that. But sorry, carry on.
No, what I was going to say is, as you said, it is Bundesliga out of the main leagues in Europe would probably be the one that's, you can say like it's got the speed of the Premier League, but he's young. It's gonna take him time to get used to it. Like he's in Manchester as well. Manchester is cold. All these little things as well, and especially with that price tag as well, it's going to be a lot of pressure on him. People are going to expect a
Yep.
lot from him, not us. Like if I'm being honest, I like if he does well, I'm happy for him.
Oh yeah.
It's not his fault. He's had the price tag. I'm not putting pressure on him because I know where he's come from. But I get why people will want to.
Bro,
The
because
amount of money,
the amount of money, and he's a hot talent that people
yeah, he
want.
is.
But more importantly, it's Manchester United. So
Yep.
you've got to understand that with that comes all the pressure. And don't get me wrong, there's pressure on Mbeumo, pressure on Cunha as well. Pressure that they would have never experienced
Never
before.
had before. Yeah.
I think probably only Cunha, and that's playing for Brazil, and he's not one of the main guys there, so he doesn't feel that sort of pressure. But all these new guys are under pressure, but him specifically because he's the centre forward, he's the number 9.
Yeah.
And as you said, as we both said, our biggest issue last season, scoring goals.
Yeah.
We struggled to score goals. So bringing this guy in, what we're hoping for, ST, and I completely agree with you. He needs time. Whether he's gonna get it or not, it's a completely different thing. But I think with Mbeumo and with Cunha, it can take a little bit of the pressure off him because these guys know how to score in this league. Whereas when Arsemus came, he had Bruno, but he had crap Nacho. He had Ahmad. I think the season before that he had Rashford. He had Anthony. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them ones where he didn't have these Premier League proven players. I know Rashford had been in there a long time, but his form was just up and down, up and down. So I think those two can take pressure on him. And what it also can do is, bro, because these guys are technical ballers, he'll get a lot better service than what Rasmus has done. Because as much as we know technically Rasmus isn't great, his first touch is abysmal. Even his pace, what he was known for, he doesn't even look quick in the Premier League either. Always trying to go with his back to go up against a defender for no reason when he gets bullied by. And I'm not even talking about the elite defenders. He's just getting bullied by any no-man defenders. But he wasn't getting any service. I think in this system, Sesko will get service. It's whether or not he can put the ball in the back of the net, and that is what we're going to have to find out. And unfortunately for all three of these guys, not just Sesko, they're going to have to find out quickly because there's no time. We were it was so bad last season, so bad. And the expectation shouldn't be that we're going to go from 15th to 4th. It can't be. That is unrealistic.
No.
That is, I don't care if you're the most positive Manchester United fan out there. 15th to 4th is unrealistic when you know Liverpool have strengthened, Arsenal have strengthened, City have strengthened, Chelsea have strengthened, Tottenham, Newcastle are looking to strengthen. Bro, all of those teams are better than ours. All of those teams are better than ours, right? So for us to think that we're going to go from 15th to 4th, just because we've spent over 200 million on attacking players, which is another pressure, because that's 200 million spent by the club when we thought we had no money. So these guys have to hit the ground running. But, bro, to think we're going to go from 15th to 4th, or even some crazy United fans saying that we're going to challenge who? Challenge who? But this is it, ST, and this is what winds me up, is the false narrative that these guys give people and the idiocy of the stuff that they say. Like, I think I was watching Rio, he was with Joel, and he said, if United finish 8th, that's an improvement. Of course it is. Because we were 15th, had our worst season in the Premier League ever, had our second worst season in Man United history. Of course it's an improvement. Joel was coming at the fact that this is Man United you're talking about. Yeah, but you're talking about Man United, the name, Man United, the brand, Man United, the 90s and 2000s. This is Man United in 2025. 15th to 8th is an improvement, even though I'm expecting us to finish higher than that. But it's one of them ones where we cannot have unrealistic expectations, even though the club has spent quite a bit of money on these attacking players. And the other problem that we have, ST, I know you said obviously defense is a problem. Defense is a problem because
midfield.
I'm going to get to we'll get to that after.
Yeah.
The defense is a problem because, from my perspective, bro, we still can't defend corners. I've seen it in preseason. Still can't defend corners. The players still don't understand defensively what they're doing in this back five when we're defending. They're still struggling with that. Team is still struggling with teams in transition, right? And Luke Shaw's still here for no reason. Harry Maguire's still here for no reason.
Listen. You know what? Luke Shaw needs to leave. No, Luke Shaw needs to. He needs to go. Bro. At least Harry Maguire, as much as I don't rate him, has done.
He's done okay. He did okay last season.
He did. At least I could put him like, let's just say, him coming on, just saving the minutes and stuff, like a fifth choice defender or something. I wouldn't mind too bad. But you see, Luke Shaw, that guy, he needs to stop playing football. And you know what? But you know what annoys me as well about him, and I keep saying this, and people think I'm mad. Luke Shaw technically is actually pretty good.
He is,
He's just
bro.
lazy.
He's just lazy and loves eating food, bro. Like this guy, I've never seen a footballer, be injured for so long, but as soon as man hits cup final, he's fit.
Yeah,
and he plays. Look at what England in the Euros, man was injured the whole time, then played in the final. When look at the Europa League final, man was injured the whole season, came back. Like it's crazy to think that this criminal's gotten away with it for so long. But look, I can kind of understand it from the club's perspective because we lost Johnny Evans, we lost Lindelof in it, we lost two centre backs, and because the club obviously were focused so much on the attacking sense, defensively they obviously aren't looking to bring anyone in, but they should gaze there. We should be looking to try and do that deal if we can, because I think our first three, like ST, what do you think? I think De Ligt, Euro, and Martinez, I think, would be our first choice back three. With Dorgu and Ahmad as the wing backs.
I'd I'd put Mazuari instead of Martinez at the moment in the back three. 'Cause I think
Well,
whatever.
Martinez isn't back. He's not back, but I'm saying
Yeah,
everyone fit. Personally, I think I like that one because I'm not a fan of Euro playing on the left-sided centre back. I'm not a fan of it. So that's why I say Euro at the right, De Ligt in the middle, Martinez in the left. It gives us that balance.
as
And obviously Martinez can play out from the back. Lenny Euro, we definitely seen can play out from the back. I think Lenny Euro in this preseason has shown, and Aiden Heaven did it before he got injured last season, is showing what is expected of those the right-sided centre back and the left-sided centre back in terms of going forward. But I'd say that was our first choice front three with Dorgu and Ahmad. I'm still not a fan of Dorgu, to be honest. I think defensively he lacks the awareness. His crossing is awful.
he still needs a lot to learn.
But he's raw and he's got a lot to learn. Ahmad, I'm not gonna lie to you, SC, I don't like Ahmad at right wing back.
Neither do I.
I don't like him at right wing back.
He's wasted there, I think.
I think yeah. A, he's wasted there, and B, like for example, if we're playing, even though we can't even call them the lower sides because we're one of the lower sides now. But if just theoretically say the lesser teams that come to Old Trafford, yeah, Ahmad should, if you're going to play Ahmad at right wing back, yeah. Me personally, Ahmad shouldn't be starting right wing back against Arsenal on Sunday. No. Because that's a problem. Because their left side is settled with Lewis Skelly and Martinelli. And as much as I don't rate Martinelli, him running in behind is a massive problem for Ahmad in terms of him wanting to go forward.
Yeah, because he's not a defensively minded player.
Exactly. So but I still think it's better than having Dalot there.
Oh, yeah,
I still think it's better than having Dalot there. However, I'd still start Dalot ahead of him because of the caliber of team that we're playing. And we're going to get into the manager in a second, but these are the small details that we are looking at. And that brings us to the biggest issue for me is the midfield.
That's my biggest issue.
The midfield is a massive issue that hasn't been resolved. Bro, Bruno Fernandes as our creator in the center of midfield is criminal. It is criminal to have him as our creator. Because people will bring up, but his XG and chance creation.
And this is sorry to cut you.
Nobody cares about the XG and the GA, bro. Like, oh yeah, what he could have done. Bro, shut up, man. Because tell me how many times he's given the ball away. Oh, but it's because he's taking risks. Yeah. Shut up, bro. Because Kevin De Bruyne doesn't look like that. It never did. So let's stop doing that. Bro,
I'm going to be very honest, as well. Just to add to that point, and people just gassing up Bruno. Everybody's saying how great Bruno is. Bruno does some good things, but people need to understand it's a team sport. Bruno does the hero ball thing, which affects the team. It's basically getting goals and assists for yourself. It looks good on paper, but when you actually look deep into it, is he progressing the team? No. Is he linking the player?
He should have been sold. The 100 mil we should have taken. We should have taken the 100 mil.
United idiots.
We should have taken the 100 mil because for me, like, bro, getting rid of him releases everybody, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong. There's other players that should be gone, but getting rid of him would have released the shackles and we could have rebuilt. But him and Casemiro, him and Agate, him and Toby Collier, him and Kobe Mainu, none of them work. They don't work. We haven't got the legs to cover the ground in midfield with only two in there. We haven't got the creativity. When teams break on us, it's like we haven't got a midfield at all, bro. Mm-hmm. Now, I know, look, and ST, I'll tell you now, it's not going to happen. People need to get this believer fantasy. Brighton don't need to sell. Don't have to sell. He hasn't put in a transfer request. He's got 3 years on his contract and they've got an option for a further year. So he's got 4 years left on his contract. They're not putting him up for sale, but they're going to be looking in excess of 100 million. People can say we spent 200, blah, blah, blah. Bro, we haven't got that kind of bread. because we still haven't gotten rid of the players that we need to get rid
We
of
need to get rid of, yeah.
to recoup some of the money that we've spent
Yeah.
already. So this Belieber thing is a fantasy. Don't get me wrong. If we can get it over the line, happy days. But ST, as I said in the the poddy, the last one we had, bro, go to Juventus, get Douglas Luiz on loan. Just
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
get
He knows the
Douglas
league.
Luiz on loan.
He knows the league.
He
He's
knows the
played
league.
he's played in the system that
He's
Amorim knows.
yeah, he's comfortable
Simple.
on the ball.
Yeah.
We're not buying him. So if it doesn't work out, we can still send him back. But it's somebody with the experience in the Premier League that is a decent option in that midfield. Because, bro, nothing works. But even if we do get him on loan, if we could get Belieber, even if we get Belieber, I'd still be like, get Douglas Luiz on loan. We need 2 midfielders.
Yeah.
We need two midfielders. Because, bro, Kobbie Mainoo is not a 6. He's not supposed to be playing. He's supposed to be playing in one of the 10 positions.
Yeah.
So if Cunha is not available, Mainoo should be next in line, not Mason Mount.
I agree.
Not Mason Mount. But the talk is that because Mason Mount understands the system, which is why he plays. Nah, fuck all that, bro. He's rubbish. That we need to get like Mason Mount, Bruno Fernandes, Luke Shaw, Andre Onana. Those are the 4 that should be out the door next.
That silly keeper.
Oh, bro, the goalkeeping situation. Onana's, bro, Donnarumma is available. Now, listen, if Donnarumma comes out, ST, and says, nah, bro, you lot are rubbish. Cool.
I can't say anything. Yeah.
Cool, I can't say anything.
Yeah.
But, bro, don't tell the Ornsteins and the Fabrizios and Sky Sports that our goalkeeping quota is full. Bro, put Onana or put Bayinde on the transfer list and go and get Donnarumma, bro, if we can. If he turns around and says no, or he turns around and says, well, City have come in or Chelsea have come in, fine. But, bro, don't let this transfer window go and say we haven't even made an attempt to sign him.
That is mad.
Because that is madness to me.
Do they remember what they were doing last year? Do you remember what, especially that foolish, foolish keeper? You see what he was doing last year?
Bro,
letting goals
costing us points. And we got onto De Gea a lot for costing us points. But he saved us a lot of points as well.
Yeah.
Onana's not saving us nothing, bruv.
At all.
Onana's not saving us nothing, bro. He's just costing us. Coming like a frigging prostitute, just costing the club, bruv. That's what it is.
I'm convinced Onana doesn't want to be in goal. I'm convinced Onana wants to be a midfielder. He was just too big.
Honestly, bro, like that goalkeeping situation, we could go into the season and say, for example, ST, we get Belieber over the line. Bro, we could be as happy as Larry, but with Onana in goal, we know that he is going to cost us. That is not good for anybody in the team and the fans, knowing we got a bozo in goal. But unfortunately, the club are looking like they're not interested. And it's like, bro, Donnarumma doesn't come along. Donnarumma doesn't come along very often when the majority of the big clubs already have a good goalkeeper.
Good goalkeeper, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's madness.
Only couple of teams I would say Bayern United, obviously, but I wouldn't classify this as a good club at the moment.
Exactly.
Man City and Chelsea are the ones who, and even Man City, they're trying to get rid of Ederson, and Chelsea definitely need the keeper.
Yeah, exactly. But Chelsea have said they're not actively pursuing it, which
is crazy.
It's crazy in itself. But bro, look, we've talked about the players. We got to talk about the manager. He said this is one of the worst teams this football club has ever seen. He said we're going to suffer. He said there's going to be pain. He said that he didn't want to come in halfway through the season. He wanted to come in at the beginning. We saw the manager come in. What he was doing didn't work. It actually made things worse when you look at it, right? But he's sticking to his principles. He's sticking to his system. He's now had a pre-season with these players. He's brought in 3 players, and hopefully there'll be 1 or 2 more, right? If Belieber were to come in, if Donnarumma, this is fantasy talk, bro, if those 2 signings were to come in to go with Mbeumo, Cunha, and Sesko, and obviously Rashford's already out on loan. If you sell Crap Nacho to Chelsea, Jadon Sancho to Dortmund or Besiktas, Anthony to the Betis, Malacia to a Feyenoord or an Ajax, right?
You have no excuse.
Bro, there's no excuses. And when
Yep.
I say no excuses, ST, this isn't no excuses Arteta. This is no excuses as the team should be playing better. They should understand your system. We should be moving up in the league table. The lesser teams should be coming to Old Trafford and fearing playing us. We should be dominating teams. We should be giving even the title challenge, title contenders a good game, and we should be competing in the cups as well, right? So when you put all that together, ST, what are you expecting from the manager? Because we can expect everything from the players, but if the manager doesn't get his tactics right, if the manager hasn't made the players understand the system and what he wants out of them, it all falls to shit. So what are we expecting from the manager this season?
I'm expecting Man United to be more cohesive. As you said, like they now have a preseason where, and especially now, when Man United didn't even have like a Club World Cup or anything, they just had time to work on things, work and work, well rested. They all,
Mm-hmm.
I'm expecting better performances. I'm expecting everybody to understand what you want. I'm
Mm-hmm.
expecting when things are going wrong for him to change it correctly. I'm
Is he though?
expecting. I think he's too stubborn, bro. I'll be honest. I hope I'm wrong, but he's too. He seems
Because
too stubborn.
bro, I'm looking at this system and I'm like, look, every manager's got their principles. Every manager comes in and wants to play a certain way. Fine, but what separates the good managers from the great and the great from the goats is adaptability. When things aren't going well, changing your tactics based on the team that you are playing, especially away from home against the bigger teams, and trying to get over the line to get a draw or a win against those big clubs away from home. But in doing that, you have to be able to change things, tinker, or even not change, tinker. So all
Hmm.
right, cool, right, yeah, all right, fine. At home, so Arsenal, yeah, we're gonna just put our. I'm not expecting Sesko to start, but I'm expecting Ahmad to be at right wing back. I mean, oh sugar. I'm expecting it'll probably be Mount, Cunha, and then Mbeumo that start the game as well. I'm not expecting Seshko to start, but I'm expecting front foot, which is fine because we're at home. But also, what I'm also expecting is a level of common sense to know that we're playing the team that's come second 3 years in a row, are settled. They know what they're doing. They know what the manager expects from them. So we can't be going gun ho. At the same time, when we go away to a Man City, I'm not expecting to see Ahmad at right wing back because that's where we say, all right, cool, Ahmad, take a seat. We're going to put Dallo in. All right, cool. Cass, we're not going to play you. We need more legs, so we're going to put Agate in. Sesko, we're not going to go with you. We're actually going to play Xerxes because he's more comfortable at holding the football and retaining possession. And him holding the ball up then allows
Hmm.
Sesko and Cunha to go the other direction and get in behind them and playing. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm expecting from the manager this season. But as you said, ST, man stubborn. So we could be going into them games the same way we're going into any other game. And not even Pep does that with the Man City team that he had that was so successful. And that's my problem with the manager, ST, is the stubbornness. He can't be that stubborn. He can't be so rigid this season.
I mean, I pray that he's not this stubborn. I pray that he sees something that's not going well and tinkers his system a little bit to suit the team and for the best of the club. But I'll be honest, I don't see it. That's why even then I've had Man United. That's why I'm worried about Man United still, even if we get those players, because ultimately obviously you need players to buy into your philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
But why are you going to buy into a philosophy that's not working for anybody and that you're not attempting to change and you're not trying to work on? It's like flogging a dead horse. Don't make sense if you understand what I mean. So I'm just hoping, I'll try and be hopeful and say that we should expect better performances and a lot more tactical nous from the manager. But I'm not convinced at the moment. That's all I can say.
I don't blame you for not being convinced because I'm not convinced, but I'm hoping that he'll prove me wrong. I'm hoping that
Yeah.
there will be something different. I'm hoping that look, ST, let's try and be a little bit positive. Look, it's a new season. It's a new season. Let's hope that the players have bought into the manager's philosophy. Let's hope that they understand what they're doing. Let's hope that we see the likes of Ahmad and Dorgu flying forward. Let's hope that they're putting crosses into the box. Let's hope that Ahmad and Buemo build a relationship, as does Dorgu and Cunha. Let's hope that Benjamin Sesko can get on the end of things. I think he put a post up saying, as long as the ball's crossed into the box, I will be on the end of it. Let's hope so. Because as much as it is doom and gloom, and I think ST was suffering from a lot of February. We're suffering from a lot of trauma with Man United, where we can't afford to get too excited because we did that. We did that with Ten Hag, and
we did that when we kind of did it when Amorim came in,
exactly, and we got burned. So this is why we are struggling to get up for it. And ST, what compounds that, bro? The fixtures: Arsenal at home, Fulham away.
First six are tough.
Arsenal at home, Fulham away. Then we've got the Carabao Cup. Then we've got Burnley at home. Then City away, Chelsea at home, Brentford away, where we never win. I know Brentford, obviously, Frank's gone. We've taken Buemo. Vissa looks like he's on his way to Newcastle as well. But when you look at them first seven, eight games, bro,
it's a tough run.
It's a tough run. And you're looking at ST. I'm looking at this. I don't get me wrong. I'd take a draw on Sunday. Against Arsenal. I really would.
Yeah, not to lose.
Not to lose. Fulham, we tend to, even though we never deserve it, we tend to get a result at Fulham.
I think we can get a result for them. I think we can get a result at Burnley.
If we go out in the League Cup, sack that manager now. If we go out in the League Cup, Burnley, we should be at home. Then I know we won away at City last time, and they're in a transition themselves. And then, bro, Chelsea at home. You know what that game means. That game means everything to me. And Chelsea haven't beaten us at home for a very long time. So that record better continue. Yeah, better continue.
Because again, of certain men in the group.
And then Brentford away, where we don't tend to win there either.
No, we don't. No.
It's a tough first set of fixtures. And ST, we could be looking at, look, we don't take preseason seriously. But listen, when was the last time we can say United went unbeaten in preseason? For a long time. I know it means nothing. It doesn't mean anything, but when was the last time we could say that? Look, there has been one or two positives that we have seen glimpses of in preseason in terms of it's looked neat and tidy. The players have looked like they're understanding a little bit more. But that could all be undone on Sunday against Arsenal. And then it's a case of, all right, cool. So I think if we were to lose against Arsenal on Sunday, it'd be a reality check for a lot of these Man United fans with all the signings being made. But also it could be an early sign that this manager's days are numbered. I don't think, bro, it's only the first game of the season. I don't think he can lose it.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he can. If Man United lose, we're gonna be under so much pressure. He's gonna be under so much pressure. He just might break because you know how our fan base is.
Mm-hmm.
We can be really toxic.
Yeah.
We need the
100%.
result. We need a result.
We need a result. And
Absolutely.
don't get me wrong, it could listen, if we win, it gives a massive boost, but also puts pressure on Arsenal. So
We'll tell that.
it's a thin line. But if he wins, it gives a massive boost and we play well. If we play well and win, it's a massive boost because then we can say, okay, cool. Maybe what he's saying was true. Maybe he did need the preseason for these players to understand. All right, listen, it'll only be one game, but I think there's so much riding on it
Yeah.
with the players brought in that it's crazy. But ST, look, obviously transfer window's not closed yet, so we're still optimistic that players will be brought in. But I'm gonna be realistic, and then I'm gonna be unrealistic. Realistic is we don't get Belieber. We bring a Douglas Luiz in on loan. Onana is the goalkeeper. Where would you see us finishing with that team?
7th or 8th, if I'm being very honest. I'm not, and like I said, out of the two, I'm probably the more optimistic fan. But even me, like the midfield needs addressing, and Onana's gonna make more than one mistake in the season. I know it. Um, I'm expecting it to be 8th in a realistic world.
Which is fair, and I will agree with you on that. I think if Onana's the keeper and we only manage to bring Douglas Luiz in, and Spurs and Newcastle do the deals that we think they're going to do,
Yeah,
I think 8th is a fair assessment because
you
Chelsea,
can say 7th.
City, Newcastle, Tottenham. I reckon. What's her name?
7th.
7th or 8th? No, I reckon 8th. I reckon a Brighton or Aston Villa could finish ahead of us, even though Aston Villa are in problems. But I reckon I reckon Aston Villa can finish ahead of us as well. I think 8th with that team is realistic, which, as I said, is an improvement because we finished 15th last season. ST, if it's never going to happen, if Belieber, Douglas Luiz on loan, Donnarumma in goal, where is that team supposed to finish?
Champions. No, I'm joking. Nah, I'd say 6th.
Really?
Yeah, bro. I'm not. Yeah, not. People say 4th and stuff like that. I still think I'd be really happy with that team, but I still don't trust this Man United. It's just engraved in our DNA, and also I'm looking at the manager as well, like to get the best out of these players. I'd say 6th, 5th or 6th,
Well,
if I'm
yes,
being very
yeah.
honest.
I'm thinking about it. I don't see any world, even if we got those guys in, where
We
we
get top
finish
4.
above Arsenal, Liverpool, City, or Chelsea.
I
So
agree.
yeah, I'd say 5th. I say if we bring those guys in, would be fifth
Good.
would be good for us. Only actually, to be fair, I think no lies. 4th. I have a massive inkling that Chelsea are going to burn out. So us
You
playing
think
only,
so?
yeah, I think because of the Club World Cup, I can see them burning out
Oh
by
yeah.
by February. I can see them burning out. So in saying that, I would say 4th with that team, seeing as we're only playing one game a week. However, we need to factor in again. This is for even for the unrealistic. And Mbuemo, Ahmad, Onana, Mazraoui,
On.
Afcon. Where's Belieber from? He's French, innit?
Yeah, no, but no, he's from. Fuck.
But
I
he
think.
represents France,
I
innit?
think. Let me have a
Or
look. Quick, 1 second. 1 second. I will be right back at people. Sorry, I apologize about this.
but look, people, in saying that, we could potentially. This is from the realistic and unrealistic transfer window. We could be losing
I'm room,
four.
bro.
Huh?
Cameroon.
So that's 5. That's 5 players, bro. And it's
Yeah,
not even 5 nobodies. Mbuemo, Baliba, Mazraoui,
Mazraoui. These are better players.
Ahmad. Those are 4 of our better players. Forget Onana, he can go. But those 4, and even if Baliba doesn't come, that's still 3 key components that could be gone to AFCON as well. So we've got to factor that in for us. So, bro, look, ST, let's finish on a positive because people are probably watching this and thinking, raw, like, did these guys even support Man United? And people, listen,
Then
don't get us wrong. We want the best that's for our football club, but we're not going to be unrealistic. We're not going to try and gas it up and
people,
say that we're better
yeah,
than what we are because, bro, as I said in the show, you do not go from 15th, even though I just said we should go 15th to 4th if we get them signings in. But
I know.
it's a complete contradiction, people.
Hey, listen,
But I think that's but I'm going from a realistic standpoint, as in we don't get Baliba, we don't get Donnarumma. So you don't go from 15th to 4th with that squad in one season. You
I
just
mean,
don't.
and fans need to realize as well, especially me and TJ of age, where we see Man United's most successful years.
Mm-hmm.
So we have seen time and time again before what we know that what it takes for Man United to be at a certain area, looking at certain teams. We know we're not in that position, and in fact, we are being really realistic. A lot of Man United fans need to do the same because a lot of this generation now are born in the years where they weren't seeing this level of success.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Bro,
need to
listen,
have a look. Yeah,
there's a standard that was set by the guys beforehand, and there's a standard that's being set by the teams above us, and we are playing catch up, and we right
yeah,
now are nowhere near them, and that is the golf. And ST, before we wrap up, obviously Rashford did an interview with Lineker,
yeah. I
and
did. I watched it.
basically had some comments and basically said, and people, I'm paraphrasing, basically said that the club was in no man's land. He said we've been a transition team, transition club for years, but the transition has never started. Is that how can you do a transition when you've got multiple different managers, multiple different ideas? It just doesn't work. And that's me paraphrasing. If you want to go and see it all, you can see it there. And ST, there's going to be a lot of people that come out
And
and
Marcus Rashford.
criticize him and cuss him, but nothing that he said
He
was
said it was right.
wrong. It was
Yeah, he was
right.
right.
If you look, and ST, it's very, very difficult to find the right manager nowadays because
It
football's
is.
always changing so quickly. You're not going to get the Fergies and the Wengers of this world that are going to be a club for X amount of time. Look at even Pep. Pep from finishing third last season, all of a sudden people have got him under the pressure, and he's most people's goal as a manager. So it's just the era that we're in. But Rashford was right. The club is in no man's land. There's no direction. Obviously now you've got Ineos and that Corpse, Ratcliffe and Barrera and Jason Wilcox, and they're trying to push the club in a certain direction. But you've got to understand that you've got to make these decisions, stick to them, and move in that direction. And what you also need to do, which is going to be a problem for this, for the owners and Ineos, if the manager doesn't work out, because the system that he plays, hardly anyone plays it. So he's buying
Mhm.
players to suit the system. Don't get me wrong; these players are adaptable, but Dorgu can't play left back.
No, Lord
So
knows.
that's a player. That's a player. And then you could come in with a manager. The next manager comes in with a 4-3-3 system, and then you realize you've got too many centre backs on your books. Do you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
Rashford was completely right in everything he said. It's stagnant. It's going nowhere. Just like his career at United was going nowhere. So what did he do? He managed to get a loan move. Whether you think he deserves it or not is not relevant. You can
And
say
I
he
think that's
doesn't.
why
You
yeah,
can say he doesn't deserve it because of what he's done on the pitch. Fine, fair enough. What these people were bringing up about what he does off field and about
they
his
need to
car
stop
and
that
all that
nonsense.
shit. Shut up, bro. We know where you're coming from with that the resistmo thing. We know that already. Like we know what that's that because you're not saying that about Jack Grealish. when he's out on them benders and all of that. Yeah, so stop that nonsense. But again, he was right in what he said. The club needs
I know.
to.
Yeah, the reason why everyone's getting so pressed about it is because Rashford is part of that team who's been doing badly. Really,
Mm-hmm.
he's not done well. But that doesn't discredit from someone from what they were saying was incorrect. It's like, for example, Cristiano Ronaldo talking about Ten Hag at the time.
Exactly.
As bad, listen, even though Cristiano was he two things can be right at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't people I know were talking about his goals that he scored. He wasn't great when he came back to us.
He
I didn't
wasn't because he
expect
was
that.
past it, and he was a
Yeah.
net negative if you look at it overall. But he did something that no one else has been able to do, which was score goals for us.
Yeah,
Um,
and but he said things about Ten Hag which ended
which were
up being the
true.
truth.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
especially with him who's been in top clubs, he's been at Man United when we were at our pomp.
Mm-hmm.
He was at Real Madrid. He was
Mm-hmm.
at Juve. All these are
Mm-hmm.
top clubs,
Mm-hmm.
They do things well, apart from one club, Juventus doesn't do things.
Listen. We do things
Yeah,
above
you do.
board by the book, bro. Listen.
That's why you lot got relegated to
Huh? That's not
32,
important.
bro.
That's in the past. That's in the past. That's in the past.
Some some mafia club. But anyway, but no, what I'm saying is that those are big clubs. They would have seen like Ronaldo would have seen like, listen, this is how it should be run.
Mm.
You understand what I mean? And he's probably thinking like this what this Ten Hag guy, what the club were doing was not serious.
Mm-hmm.
And the similar things that Cristiano said, Rashford said, and at the end of the
Exactly.
day, no, it's because it's Rashford. You lot are getting angry.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
I
Because
I saw the interview. I was like, listen, there's nothing wrong with what you said. You're
yeah,
right. What
nothing
can I
wrong.
what
He's
what,
right.
what can I argue?
People will come at the argument, oh, why is he talking? He's still technically a Man United player. Why is he talking like this? Da-da-da-da-da. But it's not a lie. It's true what he said. Everybody knows this. And the fact of
Yeah,
the matter is, he's been in it. So who better to talk about it than someone that's not in it? And you could say he's got agendas because of the way how he's been treated and blah blah blah, which is fair enough. You're entitled to your opinion, but as long as you keep it respectful and don't start talking about what car he drives and the fact blah blah. Yes, he should do his talking on the pitch, but at the same time, he's entitled to his opinion about a football
yeah,
club that he grew up supporting, came through the system, and that he loves. Right, so
yeah,
it's not coming from malice or a place of a place of anger. It's him being truthful and saying things like, don't get me wrong, obviously now he's on loan at Barca, he's probably got more freedom to say it, but nevertheless, he's right in what he said, bro. So, and the fact of the
because these are
matter is,
things that we're saying. These are things that
exactly, exactly, and
looking from the outside that we see. Yeah,
it's down to Ineos and the Glazers and the manager and the players to change that. Simple as that. But ST, we're gonna wrap up there, man.
yeah,
It was a lot to unpack. People, let us know what you think in the comment section. Let us know what you think about where United are going to finish. Do you have them finishing uh, bottom half of the table? Do you have them finishing mid-table? Do you have them finishing in the top seven? Do you have them finishing in the top four? Do you have them as champions? As some deluded Man United fans think that it is a possibility. Not let us know what you think about the signings. Let us know what you think about Cunha, Sesko, and Buemo. Let us know what you think about the outgoings. Crap Nacho. I know a lot of fans are upset that he's going, but he's rubbish, bro. Honestly, Chelsea needs to hurry up and come and
yeah.
buy
Just
him,
need to,
bro. Like
yeah, just
literally
take
need to
him.
hurry up. Obviously, we've
I'll
got
fly him there.
obviously with other
We,
players going out. Let us know what you think about the Donnarumma situation. Should United be throwing everything at trying to get Donnarumma, knowing that we've got Onana in goal, who's definitely going to cost us games? Let us know what you think about Belieber. Do you, in your heart of hearts, really think that he's going to end up at Man United, knowing what we know and knowing that Brighton don't have to sell? And let us know what you think about the manager. How long do you think the manager is going to last? Do you think the manager is going to turn things around? Do you think that it's at a point of no return already? We want to hear from you. And as usual, before we go, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Get the likes up, get the subscriptions up on the channel time. Share, share, share. We are here. And don't forget to join our social media pages as well. Links are in the description. I want to say thank you very much to my guy, ST, as always. Thank you very much, sir.
no, you're welcome, man. Good, good. Yeah, I enjoyed it, man. At least we got all our frustration out.
100%, bro. People, look, that's it. It's all systems go. We're gonna find out what happens over the weekend. We coming up. We are gonna try again to get an Arsenal fan on this channel, especially if United win. We're going to
They're
try
not.
and
They're
get
ducking. They're ducking. They're
an
ducking.
Arsenal fan on this channel, because if United were to win, and don't get me wrong, their record isn't great at Old Trafford. I think that's the only positive. Even last season, when we drew, we should have beat them. We should have beat them.
Yeah.
We're going to try and get them back on, because if we can do a review of that game with United being triumphant, we definitely want to talk to some Arsenal fans about
I'll
their
be shameless.
title prospects this season. Also, I said, Tooth and I maybe bringing back Fight Talk, and yeah, it's footy chat for the foreseeable, because World Championships isn't until September, as well
And
as the
then obviously
boxing
the yeah, I was
as
gonna
well.
mention that.
But people, listen, stay safe out there. Be safe. The countdown is on to the Premier League starting, and we shall see you very, very soon. Peace.
Peace, peace.